It's a very quiet room.
Everybody needs some coffee today.
I know. I think yesterday tired every night. I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to apologize if I'm starting to sound rather male.
Rachel, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Let's start with, because this is about the next billion of users in blockchain. So I'm quite excited to ask you a couple of questions and to get the people to get to know you as well in the first meeting today, the first stage. So I've been personally in Binance Blockchain Week in Dubai and Paris. I'm a big fan. I think so. It's one of the best events in Web3 in the world. And now we are here in Istanbul in Turkey. Why Binance decide to choose Turkey?
Well, as you know from attending our previous events, we kicked off with an online event during COVID. We've since had 2 tentpole Binance Blockchain Weeks in Dubai and Paris. And actually, hosting it in Turkey was one of the first decisions that I had to make when I joined the company, with our executive leadership team. Like the data speaks for itself. Yeah. 2 in 5 individuals in Turkey hold crypto. They represent nearly 40% of overall global trading volume. I think in terms of a welcoming climate and a positive climate, and it actually goes far beyond crypto. I think the ecosystem here is thriving. Professionally, I visit Turkey quite a few times, over the course of my 20-year career, aging myself now, but it's incredible. I've always seen great work being done here, great momentum, but I've been blown away by the reception and the overall community here and the type of technologies and the conversations that are happening. It's something that I think is testament to what is going to be, it's top 4 for us globally now, Turkey. I anticipate it will be top 3 very soon, but I think there's still a huge opportunity here and a lot that we can learn from this market to bring to other markets on how we drive more penetration and adoption.
Awesome. And talking about learning experience and about markets, what are the main challenges to global crypto adoption? Like, what can the industry do to address the issues of the adoption globally?
Well, how long do you have, Andrés? I think
we have 8 minutes.
Look, user security, volatility, perception of lack of regulation. I think it's a very long list. And we could focus, on what are the obstacles and what are the challenges. But I think as a group of people, the 2,000 strong people that are here physically, those people that are joining from home, I think we all agree that we need to change the narrative. And this is going to be critical in order to help build a sustainable legacy for this industry, which it's such a powerful technology. We just need, as individuals in this room and as individuals at home, to unlock that. That's only going to happen through deep collaboration, through continued technological advancement, through enhanced user experiences, and through storytelling, which is where the role of marketing, I think, plays such a critical role in being able to show and celebrate what are the utilities and the values of this industry.
So Binance already has more than 150 million users, driving innovation and reception. But now we are all in the ecosystem want to aim for that billion of users. So why so significant to bring 1 billion more people into Web3, and what impact could it have?
It's incredible in 6 years what Binance has built. And as you know, I'm a relatively new recruit, so I can't take credit for that. But we sit at 150 million users across 100 countries, which is huge. But the theme of getting to 1 billion and the road to 1 billion is very intentional. And it's something, that not just Binance, but all of us as industry stakeholders and players need to commit to. It really should be our North Star. We're only at 4.5% penetration globally. That's only 450 million people. Like, the opportunity is huge. And as I said earlier, it goes far beyond trading. I think we really have an obligation, and it's something that we take very seriously at Binance, to be able to show the values of the technology. Over the course of the last couple of days, I've met founders in retail, in marketing, that are all looking at blockchain and how we bring it and the different use cases. And on the panel yesterday that I had with John from Amazon, he made a very good point. Blockchain is the technology. It's how we enable it and how we tell the stories. So there's a lot we can learn from other industries over the last decades that have had to break through, but that's going to be critical as we get to a billion. We need to unlock those new audiences, new segments, new sectors that use us. Over 81 of the top Fortune 100 companies are using blockchain in a meaningful way. I don't think we know those stories yet. So it's how we really show the utility and show that value and make it relevant to, I see my dad as my focus group. It's like, how do I make it relevant to him? How do I demystify that for him?
And now you mentioned that your dad and how you make it possible for everybody to understand Web3 and crypto, making it includes everybody. How can the crypto industry promote diversity and inclusion?
It's funny, I get asked this, since I've joined Binance, I think I get asked this every time I speak to someone, as a woman in Web3. I've worked for 20 years in largely male-dominated industries. And look, there's been challenges, but I've been lucky that I've never been set, a glass ceiling. You just learn how to fight through. But what I think is so interesting about this industry is it's one of the most welcoming industries. It's not about gender, it's not about diversity, but we do need to invite more different types and diverse users in. So, women are one of those segments. But it goes far beyond that. It goes far beyond that. I think we need that in order to ensure the sustainable legacy of this industry, because we need different mindset. There's no point having 50% women in the room unless they've got different mindsets and different perspectives that are going to inform how you're building your product, how you're doing your marketing. Because what we need to do is show that there's people in this industry that look like people that are not attracted in yet and maybe intimidated because they think it's characterized by crypto bros and the like. But I think there's a huge opportunity there. That we just need to keep continuing to invite more people in, be as welcoming. I think Istanbul has been one of the most welcoming communities I've seen, but we need to borrow from that and ensure that we're welcoming new audiences in.
And talking about welcoming, I know, guys, you welcome a lot of feedback everywhere. Like I know, personally, CISA always welcoming feedback on Twitter. But how does Binance use this customer feedback to improve their Web3 products and services?
It's interesting. I've worked in a lot of companies that have very strong mission and values. And you see them written on paper. And then you always question before you join whether everyone lives and breathes that. At Binance, it's proper obsession. I think it's manifested in how we do our business. It's in how we look at product. It's in how we look at marketing. It's in how we build our operations, how we look at customer service. I think for us, it's truly something that's driving the business forward, and it's something we live and breathe by, whether you're a new entrant or whether you're on the executive leadership team. It's really part of our philosophy and mindset. A really good example of that is our Binance Build tool. In September alone, I think we welcomed in about 5,000 pieces of feedback from users. Wow. It's a live tool. You can easily find it on .com. And what was so interesting, we actually gleaned 313 issues or opportunities for us to improve our product, and the product team put that into effect, and that's optimizing user experience. That's looking at how we enhance the product. Our copy trading and our Web3 wallet launched yesterday. They've been all part of the user feedback that we get, because unless we're, I think we need to, it's not just about meeting users' expectations, it's about delivering beyond and helping anticipate. And I think that was something that was so crucial to Binance's success in the beginning. And it's something that we try and bring in every day, even as we scale.
Amazing. And of course, Binance is one of the biggest technology companies in the world. But let's talk about the offline part, like events, So how do events such as Binance Blockchain Week contribute to fostering collaboration and innovation in the Web3 space?
Oh, it's critical. We're a largely remote business. And, that's a significant number of people internationally. And I think these events, whether it be a small meetup, whether it be a conference that's at a certain scale, they just they offer that opportunity for really deep discussion, for debate, for engagement. It's actually one of the reasons, when we were working with the events team and we looked at the success of the previous BBWs, we saw that how do we create more discussion and debate? And we've introduced the innovation stage this year downstairs, which is more intimate, and for those that may be more self-conscious and don't want to ask questions. It's really an opportunity to get involved. We have more workshops going on over the course of this week. We have a hackathon with BNB Chain on Friday. Wow. So for us, these events are so critical, not just from a feedback perspective, but it's from, I think there's an honesty that happens when you're in person that you don't always get in the digital world, as much as that's critical to our businesses. And I think that's where events and live events just offer that opportunity to entertain and engage and just foster deeper collaboration. And what I'm so excited about now is the opportunities that come out of this. It's not just about Binance, it's about the founders and investors that meet here and like what's the next innovation that could be originated at a Binance Blockchain Week.
And talking about innovation, what future trends or developments might change the crypto and Web3 industries?
Oh wow, this is a tough question because there's so many. Is it like interoperability? Is it scalable solutions? I think from the perspective of marketing and user experience, I think there's two areas that I feel will have the biggest effect in ensuring mainstream adoption and inviting new users in. One is user experience and interface. I think that's going to be the biggest battleground, in the next period. I think we have to optimize, across the industry. That's going to be critical to inviting new users in that may be intimidated by what they perceive as complex technology, even try and simplify it. I think the second thing that's going to be critical, like you're probably more of an OG than I am. I've been in this industry a few years, but what I think is critical is also about Web 2 and Web 3 integration. I think, a lot of this industry and how you invite new users in relates back to trust. And I think the more Web 2 brands, we used Gucci and Starbucks as examples yesterday, but the more trusted brands and individuals that get involved in this world, I think the more that we'll be able to demystify and use that as a way to educate and invite new users in and use them as the way to show them value. Because if you're unlocking that potential through something that you drink your coffee every morning, it's enormous. It's an enormous opportunity.
And I have a last question. I'm talking about drinking coffee. We have a lot of crypto-Gs here. They have already coffee. They're early birds, but there's also new people that's coming to learn about Web3. So what advice would you give to those who want to get involved in the crypto and Web3 space in a meaningful and inclusive way?
Yeah, I think curiosity is key. I think sometimes these industries, because there's their own vernacular, there's a whole identity involved here, can be intimidating. But I think being curious, educating yourself. Binance Academy is just one of a suite of tools that's available online where you can really learn from the fundamental basics to much more complex concepts. And I think secondly, it's just get involved. Whether it be online, whether it be physically. We have over 40 meetups a week sometimes in international locations around the world. They're intimate. You can walk in and ask any question and no one's going to judge you. So the biggest piece of advice I would give, and I met some wonderful students here yesterday from Marmara, although I do think they're probably smarter than most people. But it was really interesting to talk to them because they're starting on their professional career. And I think for them it's like they got involved. The first step is just putting yourself out there and not being scared about what's on the other side of the door.
Amazing. Rachel, thank you so much for bringing all this information to us. And thank you so much to everybody to attend so early. And
I know. I'm sorry for getting you all out of bed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.